Hey guys, welcome back to Dabbles in DIY. Today we're doing something that's a little bit different from what I usually do. I usually start a project with a super plan and an idea for something that I want to create. This time, this was kind of like a spur of the moment experiment slash, I think I'm going to call this like a DIY walkabout, where I just kind of prototype slash create something and maybe just talk through what I was doing. It's a little different, or maybe it's not that different, but I just thought it would be cool to just do something that was a little less structured and just like me playing around with different materials and just seeing what I'm going to come up with. And so we're gonna flip to that whole process, and I really hope you guys enjoy this. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because it's not as structured as usual, and even the resulting project might not be as structured as I usually want to be, but I really want to share the process and share just how, to think about stuff when you're trying to do DIYs and when you're trying to create something. So let's cut to that right now. So I recently bought this new couch here yesterday. It actually arrived yesterday, and I really love it, but what I need is a side table. So I've had this for about a year. I bought it and, I had some ideas for it, but they didn't work out. I always loved the shape, but honestly, I know some people love this like cane and I guess it's like cane and rattan look, but for me, it's just a bit too boho for me. So I wanted to see if I can make this look more modern because I really like the shape. I was actually about to donate it. And then yesterday I had this brainwave where I remember watching a few videos where people were able to coat things in concrete in order to create to make a concrete side table. So because I really love this shape, I want to see if it's something I can do. Okay, so here's basically our little thing that we're going to flip. I have this, which is like self-adhesive rhino tape. I think it's like mesh fiberglass. I don't know what the heck it is, but it's basically a drywall tape that you would use to create like a base for your drywall. Because this is because down here this is smooth, I just don't know if the concrete can hold. So I just bought that to get the concrete to adhere to something. We're going to use this tape as a base and it will just smooth this surface, which I think will definitely make an impact. I got this stuff, which is like Fastcrete. I like this stuff because I like this stuff because it dries very, very quickly. Like it's like a 30-minute dry, like it dries so fast. But it is going to make mixing and trying to get this stuff on very complicated because then I have to act really quickly. So the first step is to wrap this middle part of the side table in this mesh / drywall tape, which I will link below. And I kind of tried to wrap it first, and I just found that wrapping it was actually creating problems and it was hard to get it to really stick. So I started doing little small strips and just layering them on top of each other, and I found that to be pretty effective in getting this whole surface flat. So this is just something we're doing to make sure that the concrete is not lumpy and also just to make sure it has something to stick to. And in hindsight, I should have done it to the entire thing, but I kind of didn't, and it did kind of affect the rest of the process, which you guys will see. And now it was time for concrete. I just mixed it quite thick because I thought that would be the best way to get it to be easy to adhere and easy to flatten. But I did find that it became easier to use my hands. And as good as this putty knife is for the sides, it's definitely not what you want to be using to actually make this look good and to make it flat and everything. But I'm just here because this is like my base layer, I'm just like smushing it in. I found the Foscrete to be a bit rough, but I guess it's also because of how I mixed it. But this is also one of those concrete. So the difference between concrete and cement is more just like one thing, whereas cement is a part of concrete. And so concrete comes with things like sand and aggregates and those things, and that's what can make it hard for you to really get that smooth finish. Yesterday I ended up using plaster to try and create the surface. I think one of the big mistakes we made here is that I did not put the drywall tape or the rhinolite everywhere, because it's making it hard for the concrete to lay flat and for it to adhere to it. So yeah, I kind of effed up there. So I'm just gonna need to get more concrete, more cement, and that's what we're gonna have to use. Hopefully that can work to, you know, make it look smooth, because it looks really rough right now. I don't even know if I should still be doing this. I don't even know if this is something I should be doing. This is, I don't know. I'm not sure, but we're gonna get some concrete now and see if that's gonna work. Okay, cement part 2. And this is real cement, so it's going to be way more smooth. And as you've noticed, I'm actually using a trowel to actually flatten everything, because while I think in the world of like actual plastering of like walls and stuff, a trowel is what you would use to get the flattest surface. So I'm just using the trowel to shape the concrete. It's not like a very loose mixture. I wanted it to still look very smooth, like almost like icing, cake icing. And so that would make it the best way to spread it around and just to like really mold around the top part, which is where we didn't have any tape, if you remember. So this was very necessary. And I found the trowel a bit cumbersome because it's quite big. I wish I could have gotten something smaller. And now I basically had to do the sides. I couldn't do it like standing up normally because I felt like gravity would be just fighting against me. So I turned it to its side, and this made it even easier and more comfortable for me to just be able to flatten and smooth it with the trowel. So that's basically what I'm doing here. And I actually had to do the sides in 2 rounds so that, like, you know, one side could properly set before I attempt the other one. So once all the concrete was set or had set, I just went in with my sander and 120 grit sandpaper to basically remove some of the ridges and very visible signs of like multiple applications. And so I just went in with my sander, wearing a mask and some glasses because this got really dusty. And please close your windows so that you don't get all this concrete dust, cement dust into your house. Yeah, so there was only so much the trowel could do, and so this is basically just smoothing it. And even this wasn't 100% perfect. One of the things that I messed up on was that I didn't again put the tape at the bottom, and that made it hard for me to have a proper bottom which was more seamless with everything else, like with the rest of the cement. But it's okay, we carry on. And now on to the last steps and like finishing touches. I mixed this beige color. I initially had this idea to kind of make it like very beige because I've got beige walls in my living room, well, my whole house, and I thought this would be a good idea, but scratch that. I decided to go with white because I felt like that would look more sculptural, because I felt like, one of the things with the DIY is that it just kind of becomes what it wants to become, and it had a very sculptural, not very perfect look, and there are a horde of reasons why we ended up there, but I'm just rolling with it, and I decided to paint it this white paint color. I used like a sample pot that I got at Builder's Warehouse. Those are like $25. They're so cheap, and so that's what I'm doing here. And here is our side table before we went on this whole entire journey. Very boho, not my style, not my vibe. And I just wanted something modern. And here it is now. Enjoyed this video, and let me know what you think about how this turned out. It was a bit experimental, not something that I usually do. I kind of like it. I mean, yeah, no, it's not the most smooth look, but I like it because then it makes it look more sculptural. And honestly, for now, it's going to serve its purpose. I don't know if this is going to stay. I feel like for something that was like a spur of the moment, trying something out, I'm actually happy with the result of this. But let me know what you guys think, and if this modality, like using concrete and mesh tape, is something that you would ever be keen to try. I'd love to know your thoughts. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.